Now, let's come back to the Middle East now, Vanessa. And, well, are we using AI to target people?
Absolutely. So if you remember, we reported on the Gospel AI system. Now we have a report released by the same media outlet that outed the Gospel system, a system called Lavender, the AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. So what does it actually entail? If we have a look at the report in a book in 2021 titled The Human Machine Team, How to Create Synergy Between Human and Artificial Intelligence That Will Revolutionize Our World, was released in English under the pen name Brigadier General Y.S. The author, a man who was confirmed to be the current commander of the elite Israeli intelligence unit 8200, and people should remember that we have demonstrated how Unit 8200 not only develops the tech sector and startup in Israel, but is also embedded in our own tech sector and in various other sectors, including development of tech within the health sector, for example. So I just want to run a video by the journalist that actually wrote this article, Yuval Abraham, as he explains how the system actually works to massacre more Palestinians in Gaza. So if we can just roll that.
Lavender is an AI-based system to create human targets, to mark them. So what it did, it at its peak, according to sources who have used it managed to mark 37,000 Palestinians in Gaza as suspected low-level Hamas or jihad militants. Now, the way it works is, for people who don't know, like the machine scanned most of the population in Gaza, surveilling information, and it gave each individual a rating between 1 to 100 based on how likely the machine thought that individual belonged to a military wing. It has a list of indicative features, which are really small signs that could be like somebody is in a WhatsApp group with a militant, or somebody that replaces phones all the time, that raise or lower your rating. Now, sources said, and this is very, very important, that this machine, when they were using it, the IDF knew that in approximately 10% of the cases, it was making what was regarded as errors. So it was marking people who were complete civilians or had a very loose connection to Hamas. It is an automatic system that looks for these targets when they enter their family houses. So it scans thousands of people that were marked by Lavender, by the AI machine, and it alerts the intelligence officers the moment they enter their house. And the Israeli military, according to numerous sources, carried out a policy of bombing these people using unguided missiles when they were in the most civilian spaces, when they were inside family houses.
Basically, this was run in The Guardian. Top Israeli spy chief, so Unit 8200, exposes his true identity in online security lapse, which was related to his book. But let's see how he describes the system. AI is used to create potential military targets, can be more efficient and avoid bottlenecks created by intelligence of human beings, in other words. There's a human bottleneck for both locating the new targets and decision-making to approve the targets. There is also the bottleneck of how to process a great amount of data. Then there's the bottleneck of connecting the intelligence to the fire. He adds a team consisting of machines and investigators can blast the bottleneck wide open. But generally, in my opinion, Mike, and I'd be interested in yours, this suggests, as other people have said on social media, Gilad Atzmon saying that basically he considers that Israel is preparing for the Nuremberg trials. Louis Alday, who's a historian and an expert on Palestinian history, he says the AI piece is suspicious, not only because of that publication's track record, and as it couldn't have been published without Israeli military sign-off, but because claiming targeting is happening with no human input seems like an obvious attempt to avoid accountability. Now, I would agree with that. I think there's two things here. One is the future of AI. Are we going to start to see drones being controlled by AI, which has to have the algorithm input by a human being, right? But what it will eventually do is to provide this lack of accountability for the human participation in whatever crimes or atrocities are being committed.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can't allow that, because that is how it seems to me. I think we can't allow that danger of removing accountability to hold. And so if they're going to use AI, which I think we should all be opposing, and opposing extremely strongly, then whoever makes the decision to deploy that AI system needs to be the person that's ultimately accountable for it. There should be no attempt to get away from this.